Hello everyone. I would like to introduce myself. I am Niranjan SJ. Today I will show you how to use the SolidWorks software, particularly on a 2D drawing. I will share my screen. Yeah, I hope you can able to see the screen. So this is the SolidWorks software, and the version is 2016. So when you come to File, you can able to see a new, and there are three different entities. One is the part drawing, assembly, and 2D drawing. So we'll cover 2D drawing in this session. Let's say okay. So before that, you need to select the sheet setup. Suppose if you want to give a printout, you need to select the which particular size you need to give a print. So now I am going to select A4 landscape, and you need to untick this. I hope you can able to see the screen. Display sheet format. Untick that so that you won't get any kind of this. Say okay. So this is my A4 blank sheet, and once it is done, and the first step is you need to check what is the dimension, whether the dimension mm or meter or in inches. That is the first step. Okay, so you can cross check it. You can cross check it here. Suppose if you draw a line, you can cross check it here in the right bottom side. The first is in meter, second one is centimeter, and the third one is millimeter. So my all the dimension mm, I am choosing mmgs, millimeter gram second. Okay, yeah. So it consists of three things here. As you can see, the first is view layout. This is to show how to draw the front view, top view, and side view. That is standard three views. It's nothing but front view, top view, and side view. Okay, so we'll go one by one. Next we have annotation. In the annotation we can able to write the annotation like, and for example XY line, the notations like A, B, C, D, front view, top view, and side view. We can able to write it using note options. The next we have a sketch. Under sketch command we can able to draw whatever the shapes you require. So we'll start one by one. The first one is line. So I'm in a line command right now. In order to draw a line, we need a starting point and end point. We need a starting point and end point. Now the default line thickness is something. You can able to change the thickness of a line. So by using layer, I hope you can able to see in the bottom side. When you open this, the line thickness right now it is 0.5 mm. I don't want 0.5, I choose 0.18. That is the thickness of a line. I repeat, go to line format and take this 0.18. Suppose by default it was not there. Imagine when you open a software, if it is not there, no need to worry. Just right click here and you can see the line format. You can see here line format. Right now we have selected. If you don't want to see, you can see it went off. Right click, click on line format. Next, so under line we have a different types of line. As you can see, center line, midpoint line. Center line, as the name says, this is for a construction purpose. This is particularly used for a construction purpose. The midpoint line, as you can see, the end points are same. From the midpoint towards right and towards left, it's a equal distance. We can able to monitor it. This is called midpoint line. Next command is corner rectangle, center rectangle, 3-point corner rectangle, 3-point center rectangle, and parallelogram. So first we'll start with the center rectangle. In order to draw a center rectangle, we need a first point and end point. You can see in the left side, you can see my cursor, there are 2 points are required, first corner and second corner. That is called corner rectangle. Next we have center rectangle. In order to draw the center rectangle, we need a center point and we need one corner. I repeat, in order to draw the center rectangle, we need a center point and corner. Next we have a 3-point corner rectangle. So as the name says, we need 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. I repeat, for 3-point corner rectangle, we need 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. Next we have 3-point center rectangle. So you can see the first point will be the center. You can see in the left side. It's a very user-friendly software. We need a center, then second point will be your corner, similarly third point will be your corner. I repeat, first point is the center, second point is the corner, similarly third point is your corner. And the next we have a parallelogram. So for parallelogram we need 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. You can move it towards left side or right side. That is called parallelogram. Okay, so we study all the types of rectangles: center, corner and 3 points. I am going to delete this. Next we have a slots. So usually we use straight slot for any of the machine parts. As you can see, in order to draw the straight slot, we need a 2 center and radius. First point, second point and radius. We need 3 points, first, second and radius. That is about straight slot. So if you want to assign the dimension, you go to smart dimension, you just select the axis length, what we call the center one as axis. Right now it is 96. I will change to 50 mm and I am going to give the radius as, let's say, 25. Even here also 25. Okay, so right now you can see it is underdefined. If you want to make it as completely constrained, you have to give the dimension for all the others dimension. This is about the slot. Next we have a circle and perimeter circle. So in order to draw a circle, we need a center and radius. We need a center and radius. So again I am assigning, you can assign the diameter or radius. So I am going to assign that the radius should be, diameter should be 100. This is about smart dimension. Okay. Next we have a perimeter circle. So perimeter circle, as you can see in the left side, we need 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. In order to construct a circle, we need a 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. This is how we can able to construct a circle. And next we have a arc. So under that there are 3 different types: center point arc, tangent arc and 3-point arc. The first one is center point arc. So in order to construct that, we need a center and arc length. Again first point and second point. I repeat, center point arc, we need a center and arc length 1 and 2. This is called center point arc. Next we have a tangent arc. So tangent is already there. Imagine we need a point and an arc. See, I can able to draw it like this. This is called tangent arc. Let us start with the 3-point arc. So in order to construct that, we need a 3 points, the first point, second and the third one. This is called 3-point arc. So next we have a polygon. So in order to construct a polygon, as the name says, we need a more than 2 sides we call polygon. It may be a triangle, rectangle, square, pentagon or hexagon. So right now it is 6 side. I want to construct a pentagon, so I give one side as 5. Choose a center point and you just drag the line. You will get a polygon, that is pentagon. Now inside we got a circle, you can delete that. Again I repeat, now I am going to select my hexagon, and you can see there are 2 things here. One is inscribed circle, another one is circumscribed circle. As you see in the previous one, the circle came inside. Now I'll select circumscribed circle. I choose the center and the radius. Now you can see the circle is outside. I don't want that, you just delete that. You can assign the dimension of a hexagon. Let's say the dimension is 25. It's a regular hexagon, means all the sides are equal, 25, 25, 25. That is called regular hexagon. Next we have spline. In order to construct that, we need a points, multiple points. Let's say curve like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is called spline. Next we have ellipse. In order to construct that, we need a center point, minor axis and major axis. Minor and major axis, that is 2 common things here in case of ellipse. Next we have a fillet. So I will show the difference between fillet and chamfer. Right now we are in fillet. In order to define that, we need 2 edges. I selected one line and another line. Now you can see the radius is 20 right now, the fillet radius. If you want, you can change it to 10. The fillet radius is 10. Now I will show you the chamfer command. The chamfer means, again we need a 2 edges, first one line and second line. Now you can see it is at a distance of 5, 5. If you want to edit, you can change to 10, 15. Suppose now it is 5. If you want to edit now, you just double click and I'll change it to 10 mm. This is called chamfer, fillet and chamfer. Next we have a trim entity. So in order to draw a trim entity, I will show you. You can draw a line, something like this. Okay. Suppose if you want to delete it, you can select a line and just delete. This particular line will go, the selected line. But the difference between trim is, I just want to delete this much only. See, I trim little bit like this. I hope you got the difference between trim and delete. Trim entity, and particularly you can choose the last one, trim to closest. This will give better result. Keep it default as trim to closest. You can trim all the corresponding lines. Below that we have a extend entity. As the name says, we need to extend the line. Now you can see, just move your cursor. You can see this particular line I can able to extend up to here. But this particular line I cannot able to extend still further, because we need a reference line or point. We need some reference. Here, this particular line can able to extend towards down, but I can't able to extend towards up because there is no reference line. Here I extend because there is a reference line is here. That is called extend entity. Next we have an offset. So suppose you want to recreate the object at some certain distance. Let's say we already have a circle. Now we can see the offset distance is 5 mm and it is inside. It's inside now. If you want, you can increase to 10, 15 according to your convenient. Now it's a distance of 10 mm. Okay, since I selected outside, it came outside. Again I repeat, go to offset, select the entity and Now right now it was 85, that's the reason it came very big. I can select 10 mm. Right now it is inside. Say OK. Same object you want outside, say reverse, it will go outside 10. Instead of redraw, you can go for offset option. It can save time. Okay, next we have a mirror entity. As the name says, we need to mirror it. Select the entities we need to mirror and select an axis. You can see the left side. Mirror about what? I am selecting the mirror axis as this one, this particular line. So it mirrored towards right side. Next we have a linear pattern and circular pattern. So in order to explain that, I'll select a circle. I draw a circle. So if you want to divide a circle into some equal parts, let's say 8 equal parts. So what you'll do usually, you draw some lines 4 times and again divide it. Instead of that, we have an option called circular pattern. So it's asking a pattern entity. I am select my radius as my pattern entity. Select the point and my center is the point. Right now we have a 4, means 4 is the divisions. I want 8 division, I just increased here, or else you can type it also 8. Say OK. Now I divide into 8 equal parts. This is called circular pattern. We have linear pattern also. I'll show you that. Again it's asking pattern to entity. I select all the corresponding lines. I am selecting all the lines. Done. Along x-axis I want 3 and the distance, let's say 50 mm. Similarly along y-axis I want 3, let's say distance is 50 mm. Say OK. This is called linear pattern. You can able to pattern along x, along y axis. Next we have move entity. I'll show you the difference move and copy. Move entity, as you can see, select entity first. It's asking where to move. So I want to move starting point from here to the here. Because it was not constant, that's why it is increased. Now we can see here, this line is not a vertical line, means you can see some kind of zigzag. So in order to make it proper vertical line, you can go to vertical, click it here. See, right now it is vertical. I'll assign the dimension, let's say 30. Okay. Now we can move it. Select entity, starting point, let's say from here to here. See, it didn't change because the dimension was not assigned earlier. This is called move entity. Next we have copy entity. Select the entity, again move from starting point to end point. You can see the difference here. Earlier we just moved from left to right, but the original position, the previous position was moved also. But in case of copy entity, we retain both the position, the previous one and the present one. That is called copy entity. Next we have rotate entity. So for that, you select the entity, go to rotate entity. With respect to what you are going to rotate, select that particular point and give the angle. Let's say I am going to rotate by angle 30 degree. Now you can see this is the 30 degree angle. I rotate at an angle 30 degree. Okay. Next we have scale entity. So for scale entity, again select entity, go to scaling factor. It's asking scaling with respect to what? Let's say this is my base point. With respect to this point, it is reduced to 0.5. Okay. Now the copy is unticked.